Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Starlight Flippin Hippo. Today is Monday, January 27th, and because it's a Monday, it's time for What Sold on eBay. Just like always, we're going to take a walk through the photos on Instagram of our shipping each day for the week, just to give you an idea of volume. And then we're going to jump on over to eBay and look at a selection of items I've picked out to show you. Some of them are bolos, some of them are bread and butter items. Let's start with today's photo. You're looking at it. This weekend was bad. There's no way to sugarcoat that. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You guys know I'm all about being transparent and honest. We had 15 sales. So we had about half of what our volume should be over the weekend, and 11 of those sales were remotes. All 15 were on eBay, and only 3 were clothing items, and one was a pair of shoes, and the remainder were remotes. Now, if you watched my live show last week about eBay sales basically being dead, what's next? You'll understand what I'm about to say, and if you didn't watch it, I'll have it pop up at the end for you, and you can take a listen at that. Just play it in the background while you're doing something else. But I kind of talked about how ever since the item specifics were messed with in October, sales have been down. They've been bad. Q4 was not what it should have been. Q1 is usually slow. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, but it's the time in between Christmas and tax returns. Yeah, but I've never seen it this bad before. And how do you explain a Q4 like never before? I really think it's whatever they did with the item specifics. It hasn't righted itself. And the other thing I talked about in that live show was how we added the remotes to our repertoire and, expanded ourselves into the electronics in hopes of increasing our sales even more. So if we had 2,000 used clothing listings and clothing, plush, and shoes with a small mix of hard goods, we should be selling 10 items a day based on our 0.5% sell-through rate. And then we should be selling the remotes on top of that at 1 to 2% sell-through rate for those specifically. So if that were the case, we would have had 30 sales over the weekend plus the 11 remotes. So you'd be looking at 40 plus sales every weekend. Instead, what has happened is the remotes are keeping us afloat, and they're taking the place of what items used to sell. And we are doing all the best practices that I teach you guys. We talked about that in the show as well. If your sales are slow, just check your best practices. Make sure you're doing everything you should be doing. Listing every day, running sales, best offer, promoted listings, good titles, good keywords, and good photos. And if they're still slow, just take heart in knowing that it's happening to a lot of sellers across the board. Small ones, new ones, big ones, veterans. It's happening to a lot of us. But just make sure that you continue to do what you can do to be the best you can be. We're at almost 2,100 listings as I speak. So we continue to list and grow, even if we're not selling like we used to. And we've diversified on eBay into the remotes as well as onto other platforms, which is, I think, what everyone's going to need to do if you want to stay afloat. So, that said, let's stay positive. So that's today's photo. Last weekend still wasn't that great. You're looking at 31 packages here, 25 on eBay and 6 on Poshmark, but that was for a 3-day weekend. So we should have had more like 40 or 50. Here's Tuesday, that was Tuesday because it was a 3-day weekend. This is Wednesday. We had 8. Thursday we had just 3, and Friday I forgot to post on Instagram, but we had 7. So we're still kind of doing a roller coaster up and down throughout the week, kind of like always, but we're just not having the weekends that we used to have. We're not having anything other than remotes sell at a consistent rate. All right, let's jump over here and look at the Plush first, because they are my favorite. We sold this Thai Beanie Baby. This is Puxatawny Phil. He is the famous groundhog from Pittsburgh, he's the famous groundhog from Pennsylvania that comes out every Groundhog Day. Puxatawny Phil. He was 50 cents at the Goodwill. He sold for $10, shipped first class in a poly bag. Here we have a giant Squirtle. I want to say this guy came from a church sale and he was $1. He sold for $23.75 and shipped first class in a poly bag. This let me try again. This is the Worldwide Federation Build-A-Bear Giraffe. 50 cents at the Goodwill. Sold for a best offer of $9, plus they paid shipping. He was pretty large and weighed over a pound. He went in a large box, the 12 by 12 by 8 free one from the post office. You can order online. So they paid for shipping and he paid $9 for him. Again, Webkins, guys, I tell you this all the time. These are hit or miss. So when I find them for 50 cents at Goodwill, I pick them up and bring them home. I've had some without the code sell for over $20, and I've had some with the code sell for $10. It just really depends on the animal. This one sold for $12.60 on a best offer and shipped first class. Here's a pair of shoes that sold, guys. So we only had the 4 plush last week. These are Gotta Flirts. I picked these up at a yard sale over the summer from a lady that I picked up a lot of stuff from. I was hoping if I piled more and more stuff in, she'd give me a better deal. These were, I want to say $2 or $3. And I just kind of got them to kind of sweeten the deal to get a better deal, which she did give me a really good deal on everything I got. And because they were unique. They're shiny, they're leopard print, they're pink. By the time I got them listed, they actually only took like 3 months to sell, which is pretty average for shoes that aren't bolo or overnight flips. They sold for $18, and she paid for shipping as well. So I shipped them in a shoebox. The shoebox is another box you can order from the Postal Service online, USPS.com. They have a lot of free boxes there you can use for priority shipping. Here we have a men's Peconic Bay sweater. This was 99 cents at the Goodwill. Sold for a best offer of $18 and shipped first class. Not Your Daughter's Jeans. This is a good example of a brand that used to be a huge bolo. It used to sell for a lot more. Unfortunately, these have kind of tanked as people race to the bottom. Not too badly, though. They're still worth picking up. I would just consider them more bread and butter than bolo jeans now. These were 99 cents. They sold for $24.38. Shipped in a padded flat. This pair of Not Your Daughter's Jeans was a smaller size. These were a size 2. These were also 99 cents at the Goodwill. And on this particular pair, I accepted a best offer of $22, and they shipped in a padded flat. Gap is one of my favorite bread and butters. I love Gap, Old Navy, and American Eagle. I pick them up for 99 cents all the time. These ones, they say deconstructed on the label, so I don't know if this was, what I'm about to show you, was done at the factory or after factory by someone being crafty. You can see like the little flowers in the moon. I just disclosed in the description, these jeans have flowers and blue X's stitched on them. They did sell for the $21 I asked for them. They were 99 cents, and they shipped in a padded flat. So Gap, American Eagle, Not Your Daughter's Jeans, Old Navy, those are still good bread and butter brands to pick up for your jeans. I picked up this Victoria Beckham shirt because it had bees on it. And it was unique. It was for Target, but it was still Victoria Beckham. It was unique enough with the bees on it. This was, I think, 10 cents. It was at our local Honey Pot thrift store that's been out of business for a while now, on a clearance rack. It was 10 cents. It came home, sat in a death pile for a very long time. It was listed very briefly, I guess. It was listed, but it never sold, and I kind of forgot about it because we have so many listings. And when I was going through our inventory, found it. It wasn't listed. I got it back in the store. It sold within a couple months. Sold for $36 and shipped first class. Chinese laundry. These came from a yard sale. They were just kind of part of a deal. I bought a whole bunch of shoes from someone. I just told her I just wanted to buy all her whole table up. Each pair came out to like $4 a piece. And this particular pair sold for best offer of $22 and shipped first class. But some of the ones in the lot sold for $80 on Poshmark, $70. They were Dansko's. Some sold for $40 or $50. So it evened itself out. This is all profit now. All the shoes that are left from that. I wanted to show you this because I found this in Keith's death pile, which is all gone now. Longtime viewers probably are aware that Keith only does the remotes now, and we haven't been sourcing since September, minus when we were in Florida in October with Casey. We stopped sourcing so that Keith could focus on the remotes. Plus, I was working through all of our death piles, the I don't wantas, and our inventory, finding all the stuff that fell off and relisting it. And, you know, truth be told, it's cold here in the winter, and it snows, and there's a lot of ice, and we don't really like going out in it. Anyway, this is one I found in Keith's death pile, and it had this big hole here. Not big, it's not that big. 2 holes. But I thought, this is a nice shirt. It's nice looking. It's a nice button-up shirt, and it's a size 5XL. It's a hard size for men to find. It is a larger size. So I decided to go ahead and list it and just disclose the damage, and it still sold for a best offer of $15. Now, being as I found this in the death pile, I would assume this came from the Goodwill for 99 cents. And had it not had the damage, I would have listed it for more, around $20 or $25, especially because of the size. So I wanted to show you this one to show you that sometimes even with damage, certain items are still worth listing if it's a good brand, unique enough or good enough size. To tell you about 5XL. So if you have really big sizes, they're always worth getting, because this would have gone for like 20, 25 had it not had the rips. Now we're getting into the remotes. We sold 16 remotes last week. We are still holding steady. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my throat is dry. I'm going to get a drink. We're holding steady on the remote sales at 1 to 2% sell-through rate on them. So the remotes are doing great. They're the only thing that's doing great on eBay, but they are doing fantastically well. 1 to 2% sell-through rate on them. Sold 16 of them last week. Remotes range in anywhere from, they sell for anywhere from $7.50 upwards to $50, $60 depending on the remote. We're just working through them as we can. Keith and I clean and test them together. He photographs and lists them. They were about 53 cents a piece. We bought 3,000 of them for $1,600. And every week I try to pull a couple out just to showcase some of the higher priced ones. If you guys ever have a chance to bulk buy remotes and they're going to come out to like 50 cents or less a piece, go ahead and grab them all. Don't be picky, because you'll make your money back and then some. If you're buying them 1 or 2 at a time at thrift sales, church sales, yard sales, estate sales, things like that, you want to be a little bit more picky because you're only picking up a couple at a time, and you're going to be paying a little bit more than if you had bought them wholesale. This Panasonic tower is one you want to look for. It is the genuine Panasonic TV VCR radio remote, and then it says tower on it. And here is the serial number if you want to take note of that for when you're outsourcing. And then I was going to show you this genuine Integra. This is a home theater controller. There's the serial number there, and then again up here in the title. You guys can take note of that. So if you see the Integra or the Panasonic that says tower on it out in the wild, the Panasonic sold for $17.49. The Integra sold for $18.75. All remotes ship first class in the yellow padded envelopes I'm sure you guys are familiar with. They range anywhere from 2 ounces to 8 ounces, but most of them are pretty lightweight. That is the highlights of our sales from the week. Just some things I wanted to show you guys, give you guys an idea of bread and butter jeans. I hope sales pick up for everybody. Let me know how yours are doing in the comments below. Hopefully when taxes start coming back, people will start shopping for clothing more. Maybe eBay will pick up if they fix whatever they broke. But let me know how you're doing in the comments. You guys, I always love to hear from you. And Keith and I are just going to keep our heads up, stay positive, keep hustling every single day, listing every single day, and just keeping active. You guys could be ending listings and tweaking titles and prices as well. You could be going through your inventory. There's a lot of stuff you can do when sales are slow to prepare yourselves for when things pick back up and they aren't so slow anymore, just to get more organized, more ready for that time. Hit the like button before you leave, guys. It really helps the channel. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can email us at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Flippin' Hippos on all social media. And don't forget to join our Facebook group if you haven't already. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Link to join is in the description down below. Until next time, guys, go be productive, go make some money, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Bye.